Hey guys, welcome back. And in today's video, we are going to be repotting our American chestnut saplings. This video is going to be about mistakes made, lessons learned. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right guys, here we have our topsoil to repot our American chestnuts with. This one soil is kind of sandy, the other one's a little different. I was told by the guy at the hardware store to mix both of them together, and then you pretty much get the right mixture for a decent topsoil. So we're going to take these, we're going to dump them in the wheelbarrow. I'm going to mix them up. And if we have to, we'll set these out in the sun. We'll set the wheelbarrow out in the sun with the dirt in it so it can dry out a little bit, because I'm not going to stick wet dirt into the pots with American chestnuts, because as you know, American chestnuts do not like water. American chestnuts like to be damp, but do not like any bit of too much wetness. They do not like it whatsoever. So we're going to take this one right here. You can read what's on it if you'd like. And we're going to take this one right here, and we're going to stick them in the wheelbarrow. So I'm going to go get the wheelbarrow set up, and I'm going to start dumping them in. All right guys, here we have our dirt finally all mixed up. It's had about an hour and a half to kind of, dry a little bit. I mixed some dirt that was a little bit drier with it, because you don't want to stick trees in sopping wet dirt. What you want is damp. You do not want sopping wet. Sorry about the car going by. Especially with American chestnuts. Chinese chestnuts, they can deal with it, but American chestnuts cannot deal with too wet of soil. And like I said, like pots, they have to be well drained. Like you're gonna hear many times in this video the mistakes I made growing these American chestnuts, and I'm just gonna emphasize this more. American chestnuts do not like wet whatsoever, not at all. So we got our dirt mixed up. It seems like a pretty good mix. So now let's get into the trees. All right guys, so here we have 4 of our trees and a bunch of pots. These I got from the dollar store for like $1.25. These are little trash cans, and those are just little round, I guess, trash bins as well. And once again, the reason I'm repotting these trees is not because they have outgrown their pots, because they have not. And once again, I'm going to keep going into is the fact that these were a mistake. They either held too much moisture or they dried out too fast, because they're water jugs, and that was a mistake. I fully regret it, and I know it was a mistake. And the dirt I used was clearly poor because of the way these trees have grown. They have not grown anywhere close to how they should have, and they haven't filled out the pots. I had a couple trees die, and the trees that died had barely any root system on them at all. So clearly it had to do with the dirt, as well as too much moisture. And these do have holes in the bottom of them, but too much moisture stays in them. These are more opened. And so yes, I know these are not much bigger, but it's not about trying to give these trees more room. It's about getting some better dirt in there. It's about getting some better dirt in there, as well as a better drainage. So yeah, these were a mistake. These pots did not work. I will not be trying that again. Yes, these would have worked if I would have cut them in half, but I was too worried about the height. But the height did not matter. I should have if I would have known about these, I would have used these, and these trees would be way bigger than this by now. But as you can see, these trees have kind of suffering just a tad. These trees should be way bigger than this, but it's just the pots, not good. So that's why we have these. So this is going to be a very delicate procedure. So zoom in right here. Yeah, but these were not good. You can see that one has mold in it. It's going to be a delicate procedure cutting these down and getting these out without, you know, the dirt breaking everywhere and hurting the trees' roots. So this is going to be a little bit difficult. I'll have to cut these pots and then gently get them in there with some new dirt, and then we should be able to rock and roll. So I guess without further ado, let's get ready to go. These ones I believe are the New York, Virginia genetics. I'll know if I find a screw because I put screws in the southern trees. So I guess we'll find out what they are. But we got a ton of pots. We got a bunch of trees. So it's time to get started. And I really do wish I would have not have used those. But it's in the past now. I know the trees would have grown better, and sifting the dirt was not a good idea either. Because sifting them, the dirt's just going to all fall apart as soon as I open those up. So that's another reason the sifting was a dumb idea. But, you know, we learn from our mistakes. And as I'm going to say multiple times in this video again, I'm going to match every tree that died. I'm going to buy more this year. I'll probably spend $100 on trees this year to make up for it. So we're good. This project's going to keep going and everything's going to be all right. So now let's go to our delicate procedure getting these repotted. All right, so here is the little trash can. I have holes I melted in the bottom. I tried to drill holes in these, but it's too hard of plastic, so it just cracked every time I tried. So burning holes was the best option. That should be plenty of drainage. It's reflecting weird, so it looked like there's more holes in the thing. That should be plenty of drainage, as well as keeping enough moisture in it doesn't dry out within a day. So we're gonna give this a shot, and if these are successful, I can obviously reuse these. So without further ado, let's get into this delicate procedure, which could or could not kill the tree. We just got to be careful. Once again, because of the way I sifted the dirt. The dirt's very loose, and I don't know how much of a root system this tree has. We're gonna find out. Gently tipping the tree over, I'm going to take these cutters and begin to cut. Yeah, this is not going to be easy. All right, guys, I had to turn the camera off because this was like way too nerve-wracking to have it on while I'm trying to do it. So here you have it. We are finally out pretty much. So now we're just going to go get this pot and get some dirt in the bottom of it. Some dirt in the bottom of it, and then we're going to put the dirt around the sides of it. But as you can see, this tree does have a little bit of a root system. There are some roots at the bottom, so this one did better than the other ones. I guess there's just not enough nutrition in this dirt. That's my guess, and too much moisture or too dry because of the horrible pots I had. So, all right, guys, let's get this done. Well, guys, that was very nerve-wracking. Like I said, I went to put it in there. I knew this dirt was going to do this. It started to break apart, and I didn't want to risk breaking the roots. So once I put it in there, I couldn't take it out. So I got this much dirt under it. I wanted to get like, you know, that much under it considering it all broke apart, but I didn't get a chance to. So it should be fine. I'm not going to mess it up anymore or risk anything else. But yeah, it's kind of sideways in there. But it should recover from this. You don't want to move the root around too much because you can break it, and because American chestnuts have very tender roots. So I guess as of right now, that is good. Let's hope this tree survives. Let's get on to the next one. Now I know I can be more prepared for next time and make sure to put enough dirt under it. All right, guys. All right, guys, so here we have our next candidate. Once again, a very delicate procedure. So I'm gonna put the camera down and get this done. Hopefully get this tree so we can grow a healthy life. I hate the way that one's leaning. I really hate that, but there's nothing I can do about it. It should grow fine. It should do fine. It's just bothering me just a little bit. Okay, look at this mold right here. The last one was like super dry, and this one's like super moldy. That's why you can't like regulate in these pots. Bad idea. But here we go. We got dirt. I got more dirt in it this time in case it falls apart like I know it's going to do. Mold looks nasty. Got to be very gentle. American chestnut roots, once again, are very tender. So I'm going to turn the camera off and get this done. Gently get this in there, then put more dirt around it. This one by far looks much better. As I went to put it in, it did drop a little bit, so I hope that didn't hurt it. It's not easy to do this. once again, because I sifted that dirt and it made the dirt too loose. But here we go. This one looks good in the pot. Let's get on to the other ones. All right, guys, we got 4 trees done so far. I gave them a little bit of water because a lot of them were like dry. So I just gave them a little bit of water on those roots. So hopefully they can recover and spread out. So we'll see how many survive. This one, I don't know. This one I'm worried about. But I guess we will find out. So far we got 4 done. About to do these 2. This one's actually a southern tree. The screw in there is the marker. This one got sun scorched, as well as getting too wet, and then it got too dry like it is right now. Once again, hard to regulate the temperature, or hard to regulate the moisture in the pots, so that's why we're transplanting it. This, I believe, is a New York, Virginia genetics, so we'll get it in it as well. I remember these by the screws, so I'll just take the screw out and put it in on top. Hopefully this little guy can recover. It's still green. The base is still green, so that's a good sign. All right, guys, let's get into it. All right, guys, so this tree right here in particular, this southern tree, had no root system at all. The root system went down that far. Yeah, I think a lot of this had to do with dirt. A lot of it had to do with how bad the dirt was. Also being a little bit too much moisture. This one right here, hopefully it does all right. It was a little dry. I'll probably give it a little bit of water, but so far, so good. We'll see how these go in the following days. We got a lot more to do. All right, guys, here I am with another 5 trees. This has been a few days, or maybe even like a week. We have another 5 trees right here. I believe these are all Virginia, New York genetics. I'll know when I find the screw if they are southern trees or not, or if one of them is a southern tree. I lost track of the southern trees. There's one missing, and it's probably in here somewhere. If not, these are New York, Virginia genetics. So once again, we have our pots. You guys know how this goes. We just did this a second ago. So I'm gonna get this done. And these trees, I just want to say, these ones look a lot better. They didn't grow nearly as tall as they should have, but that's because of the dirt and the my bad pot idea. But without further ado, I'm gonna get into this, and I'll be back when these trees are potted up. All right, guys, that was a very delicate procedure. You have to very carefully cut and very carefully take them out, like I've said before, without breaking the roots. One thing I'm starting to think is, like, do American chestnuts even have tap roots? Because none of these have had tap roots. They're just like roots, but they're so brittle. Chinese chestnuts are not brittle, and they have tap roots. So I don't know. I'll have to do more research on that and find out. Do American chestnuts have tap roots? Because none of these seem to have tap roots, but it's probably the fact that the dirt is really not good quality dirt that I had in those pots. And as you can see, all that stuff's laying everywhere. I got to clean up now. But as for this, these trees are looking good. Next up will be the Kentucky trees. I think there's a couple more. There's a couple more Virginia, New York genetics. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. This is a Kentucky tree, southern tree. I found the screw. That's how I marked them. So I marked them from the beginning. So, yeah. All right, guys. All right, guys. Here we have the rest of the chestnuts that I am going to repot for now. The high grounds, as you know, are in those like taller pots. So I don't have anything tall enough to like put them in right now. I could try to put them in there, which I think all the dirt's gonna fall off anyway. So I could like make the root go down a little bit more. Make the root like, you know, flatten out a little bit more because of all the dirt's gonna fall off, so it won't be down as deep. And the roots aren't like solid roots. They're just like, you know, like sucker roots, I guess that's the right word. But with those, I'll have to figure that out. I don't even know if I have enough dirt after these. I think after these I'm going to be out of dirt anyway, so I'll figure out something else for the high grounds. But the high grounds definitely need repotted because the pots I used were stupid. Once again, I keep saying that. They were definitely stupid. That was, once again, a bad idea, which I'm going to say that about 1,000,000 times in this video, along with the dirt being sifted. That was not good. But right here we have our last trees that we were going to pot for today. Well, it's been over a few different times that I've recorded these clips. But these 3 right here are southern trees. This one right here is a New York, Virginia cross that got a little sunburned. But overall, these are doing pretty good. And we got our 4 pots right there with holes drilled in them. So without further ado, it is time to get these ones potted up. As you can see, I already started cutting that one so I could remove it easily without damaging the roots. Very delicate process. So this, for these 4 trees, this might take me an hour. Well, it shouldn't take that long, but it'll take me a while. So I guess I'm gonna get right into it, and I will be back when I am done. All right, guys. So here we have the 3 we have the 3 southern trees right there, and then the Virginia New York genetic tree. I accidentally lost the screws, so I had to put screws in these so I remember which ones are which. This one already had sun damage, so it wasn't doing well. It's been doing okay, just the leaves have been really ugly, but I accidentally put a little too much water in it when I was trying to make sure it had enough. So hopefully it's okay. The water should have sunk down. There's holes in the bottom of the thing, but the dirt mixture, I'm not sure if I had enough looser dirt in it, so hopefully it doesn't like stay mud in there. But I think it should be fine. This one will probably lose its leaves. It's already like, they've already been damaged anyway. These ones I think will be fine. Nothing shouldn't bother them. And the roots didn't get damaged, I don't think, when I did it. I haven't lost a single tree yet from repotting into these pots. So far, so good. One tree's lost almost all of its leaves, but the stalk is still green. So that's the sign that you're fine. It's just sometimes it gets shocked and they lose leaves, but the leaves were already like slightly already messed up on that, but it's a normal thing. Shock is a normal thing. One of the trees we did lost, I'd say, a quarter of its leaves, but all the other ones on top were fine. So that's what happens. You shock a tree when you repot it. So we should be good. We'll just have to keep a lookout. Well, that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This video was recorded over a span of days because I didn't have time to pot all the trees at one time. But this is about mistakes that were made and lessons that were learned. Those pots I made out of water bottles were a mistake. If they completely were cut off flat, they would have been better, but having like the peak at the top allowed for not enough time to dry out. And the dirt, once again, being sifted was a big mistake. That being the leading cause of why the trees didn't do as well, because I couldn't regulate the water level as well. I couldn't really do much. It just overall wasn't the best idea. But we've learned from our mistakes. We know now for next year not to do that, and I think the ones now that they're repotted, they will do fine. If someone wants to complain and say, well, why didn't you put the trees in the ground this year? Well, many factors. One, the trees had to have an established root base, because trees are more likely to survive when their root bases are established. Putting them right into the ground isn't always the best decision, and I want them to be well established. Another reason is the area was not cleared. I did not have time to clear the area this year. Yeah, stuff got in the way. Area did not get cleared. On top of that, we've had an extremely dry summer. So even though American chestnuts don't like water as much as Chinese chestnuts, they would have struggled really bad in the heat with no rain, like at all, and me not being able to be there to water them. Overall, it wouldn't have worked out. So this is better. Next year, this batch should be going in the ground. If not spring, well, they'll be probably going in the ground in the fall, because I want that root base to get a chance to be established. So next fall, I'll get those trees in the ground. But now let's get on to talking about more trees. I would like to, I'm thinking about like a goal of like $100 again for growing more American chestnut saplings. Since I know what I'm doing now, rather than like not knowing like this year. I know what I'm doing now. I have more of a plan. But there's a lot of things that go into it. So I'm thinking like maybe, like we did last year, we fundraised the money. I'm gonna put all the money in for the trees we lost. I will make up for the trees that died, because it was my mistake, some of it. So I'll make up for the trees that died. But I would like to try to crowdfund again. So the GoFundMe link will be in the description if anyone wants to donate, so we can try to get this project rolling again for next year. I think it'll be good, because like I can't share the whole cost. I keep switching this thing around because my arm's getting tired. I can't share I can't share the whole cost because I gotta buy pots. I'm using little trash cans, as you saw, That worked great, but they're like $1.25 a piece. So I gotta buy the pots and stuff. If I'm sharing the whole load of all of the saplings too, it's not gonna be very easy. So therefore, if you guys could help out a little bit, that would be greatly appreciated. And we can get this project rolling. I got a lot of stuff planned, but I also got a lot of things going on. Like, I work some days, I'm sick right now, and I also got this lump on my neck, which I don't know what it is. And I gotta have that looked at, and if that's like lymphoma or something, that's not gonna be fun. So nothing's getting done properly. I go into every summer like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it never gets done. But one thing I want to say is, next summer, I would like next summer to be the summer of videos. The summer I get things done. The summer this channel actually takes off instead of like being slow like it has been. So we're gonna shoot for next year, getting everything done right. Next big year coming. I gotta collect like 600 chestnuts. I would love to make $4,000 off food plot trees. Possible, yes. Is it gonna happen? Really the biggest thing on turning 600 chestnut trees, or more than 600, like 660 or something, to get $4,000 if you're selling them like, I think like $6 a piece, something like that. It's getting the pots, which I get taking little water bottles for the ones I sell. Not little water bottles, but you know, those medium, like tall ones, and turning them into pots like we did last year. Those were great for the hybrid trees, for the Chinese chestnut hybrid trees. So that's the one thing, but I also got to come up with 600 chestnuts. So I'm going to be, I guess, driving around, see someone that has some chestnut trees in their property. If they look like good genetics, I guess I could be asking them if I could pick up some of their chestnuts and then turn those into profit. But $4,000 off chestnut trees, that would be awesome. I'm thinking like either house fund or putting that in to either fix the Suburban we have, or getting myself a truck or something, because $4,000 would get you a decent truck, a decent old truck. So we'll see what happens, but I got big plans. It's just like, is it gonna happen or not? Like right now I have a cold still. I need a haircut. I got a cold. I need my neck fixed. Stuff's going on and I can't really help it. I'm sorry, I know you guys donated to this American Chestnut project. The project's still moving. It's not like it's stopped. I still have plans. I'm still planning on doing it. We're still going to keep expanding. It's just I feel bad I didn't give you guys enough updates on the trees this year. I just haven't really been able to, and I am sorry about that. But the mistakes I made with the trees, I've learned from my mistakes. Next year we can shoot forward and get things done. Thank you guys for sticking around. I got more stuff planned. It's just, will I get it done? We'll have to find out. All right, guys. As always, don't forget to drop a like on this video, hit that notification bell, and subscribe for more content. And as always, keep it electrified. I'll see y'all later.